Have you ever been so tired you just fell over, or you went and laid down and you woke up at odd hours and you're like, damn, my sleep schedule is screwed, you know? Yeah, that's what almost happened today. I don't know what happened. I ate some pizza, and then I went and laid down. I was like, I'm not going to go to sleep. But, sometimes you just lose your energy, you know? Is it about getting old or what? What's the matter with me? Is something wrong with me? No. I think it just happens, I'm working out too much. My brain is strained. My brain is going too fast. Too much going on. Maybe or maybe I have cancer or something. Maybe I'm getting cancer. But anyways, we're not here to talk about that cuz I managed to pull myself out of the gutter and be here today. And, I try not to be too tired when I come on here. Whenever I do something, like, I don't want to have just like this face that I just woke up, And it's such a terrible thing to do with people. Just like give them your nappy time face, What a terrible person, to do things like that. But now that you're falling asleep because I'm not saying anything interesting, let me keep it going. And you should watch this whole thing. You definitely should watch this. I can't force you though. I think even if I told you you should watch this entire thing, I need you to watch this. And I begged for you to watch it. I don't know if I really want to try to scam anybody like that or hustle anybody. I don't even think it'll work. Would it even work? Probably not. I feel like most things that people try online don't work. Ineffective. Ineffective. I mean, can you just imagine like some people the reaction to someone trying to be funny? It's kind of funny because there's probably no reaction. I mean, like a person could be like really popular and still there's just a lot of people that just they don't care. You're ineffective. They don't care whether you're funny or not, you know? I think that's part of the hook that gets people to pay attention to you is funny or not, right? Are you funny? Is he funny? Is a person funny? Because if they're funny, I'm gonna watch. I don't even know. I don't even know what people watch. They watch true crime shows and the news, and I don't know. Those people are so different from other people. You know what I mean? Like the people that my people. And you say my people, and I say my people, but who? Well, I think it's kind of like those people that are almost not even real, but they're almost just living in a comic book or something, or they're living in some cartoon show, which is their life because what else is there, in which probably make you, take things too far and be a little bit too blunt, a little bit too honest, a little bit too bold. You know what I mean? A little bit too bold. Like me, like am I really trying to be that bold? Like you got to ask yourself, are you really trying to be that bold? I mean, if you're really trying to be that bold, um you should probably put a lot of time into trying to be bold because, if you're really trying to be bold, then I mean, it's really hard to be like really bold. Like people remember you, talk about you, or just feel like there's some sense of well-being around you, or really anything in your presence. It's pretty difficult, It's pretty difficult, and it's kind of hilarious because there's so many people online, and it's never gonna change. We're in this constant mass hysteria of the internet and people just flock to it, to try to post things on there, to try to get rich or whatever. And maybe it was better before when all we could really do was go on a TV show or be in a movie. But there were guidelines back then. I feel like. I mean, I feel like there was actually something to lose. You know, back then. I mean, for the most part, you're not just gonna let anybody on. You know. And that's what That's what it turned into now. Is anybody can, and you get a little bit validated, and you think, oh yeah, maybe if I keep going, I can make this work. I'm gonna turn this into a full time job. And then that's how you just have so many people scattered on the internet, and you have to ask yourself, can all of these people be funny? Or can all these people be talented? Are really all of them really that good? I don't know. Does most of these people even know what they're doing? You know what I mean? And then I gotta question myself. I'm always questioning myself. But I should probably be more confident. I've gotten to the point where I'm almost in this stasis, this stagnant feeling of not caring about any of it and just watching it. Like nothing changed. Just because I went online and posted some videos, nothing changed. Did anything really change? Well, it took some time for me to get comfortable. You know what I mean? Because like when I remember, first videos I would make. Back in the day, I actually put some videos online and deleted them because I was like embarrassed and stuff. I felt like, man, I don't want to have that on there. I'm just gonna, move on. And then I found myself coming back to it, and I had like a sturdy mindset set at that point. I'm like, you know what? Just do it, man. You love doing this. Just do it. Just do it. Okay. You didn't post one video and become the most famous person on the internet, but you know what? You like what you're doing. So yeah, I've been doing this a long time, and probably didn't get as much exposure so as some people, so they probably didn't even know I was here. But yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy to think about all the people online, and I don't mean to be so negative about it, but it's like being a little bit too honest with people kind of break their heart a little bit, but that's kind of the thing about it is I've already been so honest with myself that I don't need to play around anymore. I don't need to play games anymore, but I don't need people shouting in my face and telling me every little thing wrong with me and making fun of me and pointing out all the bad things about me and all that. Like, I don't need anybody to do that. But it's okay. People making fun of you online. Like I'm supposed to be a funny person, so people making fun of me, I mean, I should be completely fine with that. And I am, but it reaches a certain extent. It's like, is being a comedian just having no self-respect, I don't know. You jump on a stage in front of a bunch of people and you're trying to, satisfy them, satisfy their comedic needs. You know what I mean? That almost seems a little bit low in a way. Like, nothing else worked out in my life and this is what I'm gonna do. I mean, I don't think it's that's the case for everybody. Like this is the last this is my last resort. This is the thing that I need to succeed at because I don't have anything. This is my last chance, you know? No regrets. I'm going in. I don't care if I'm embarrassed. I don't know. That just seems like such a that does not seem like a good way to live your life if you're living on a thread of a dream. But people do it. People do that. It's just like I think the ones that succeed, they're like, I'm gonna make this happen. I have to make this happen. That's almost what you got to think. Like sometimes when I make videos or I make stuff, I'm like, dude, if you don't succeed at this, you're gonna die. I'm not gonna die, but I just think like, dude, this is like survival, man. This is like gladiator ring, you versus all the other people. Are you gonna kill the others and win? That's what it kind of is. It's almost a game, but that's kind of the way that I see it. It's like you gotta take this seriously. But then it begs the question of how do you even really appeal to people? You know what I mean? Like I can write jokes all day. I've already written a bunch of jokes. Some people don't understand that about me. I've already done a bunch of this stuff. I've already, you know what I mean? And the thing about it is, you got to have a good joke. You have to perform it really well. And that doesn't always happen like consistently, it's like staying with riding that wave out, staying on course constantly, especially when you have so many things in life, and that's what gets in the way. Everything gets in the way. It's just one big excuse. So that it's just like, man, it's crazy. And then I think about the amount of time I have it now, and I'm like, yeah, if I had like about 30 more years experience, maybe I could make something happen for him. I don't know. I and I feel like I could write like a stand-up comedy routine every day, Um, like I feel like this is kind of the same thing, this is kind of stand-up comedy, but I'm kind of doing a podcast, but it's kind of just on the internet, so it's not live or anything. But I just try to write something different and I just sit there and write a bunch of stuff. But yeah, but so like me talking right now, everything that I've been talking about right now, it's almost like too much information. Like it's being a little bit too honest, I think. But I think the funny thing is, I think I just kind of found out is like, you know, if you're gonna embarrass yourself or do something that people aren't interested in, and your video just sits there and rots, and you know, like you shouldn't feel bad about it. It happens. Maybe you should delete the video if you want to. You know, I've gotten to the point where I'm like, just leave it all there. Who cares anymore? Just leave it. Just leave it. What kind of person am I, to just leave all of that? If it's not a good video, then it's not a good video, then it's not a good video. You know? Jeez. Jeez, man. Such high standards. But yeah, I've kind of gotten to the point where I'm like, well, I don't know if I can really be embarrassed anymore. But it does seem pretty low of me. Almost. I think it is pretty low in a way, but I don't know. This whole perspective that I have sometimes is just, I feel like it's just almost like so far from what people would normally think or something. Or just like the way I think about things is just so different. And, it, I don't know, man. It's crazy. Like I don't mean to just like pump stuff out, just like cha-ching, 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 and then it's just there's no real value in it because I'm just sitting there cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. But it's kind of the grind, It's kind of the grind. But on the other hand, I just feel like I'm just another worthless person trying to entertain people online. And it's like, I don't know. I love trying to do it though. I think it's pretty hilarious to try. Just the whole idea of doing it is pretty funny to me. So I like doing it. Um and I've tried so much stuff. I'm trying to get myself to do some cartoons right now because it's been a few months, and I've been kind of vegging out playing video games, and I'm like, dude, I need to try to make something good here, you know. So I'm trying to be like, you know what, I'm gonna try to work harder this time. I'm gonna try to be more focused. I'm gonna try to be, better this time, which is pretty crazy because it's like, I've went through so many like rolls, like I rolled the dice so many times, where I just like made some stuff, and and I've done a lot of, you know, I've made a lot of cartoons and stuff. I've done a lot of independent stuff, and it just like seems like it's always not living up to what I needed to, you know. I'm just not able, like I'm not tough enough, man. You have to be pretty tough to do animations, man. Trust me. Like you have to be a pretty strong person mentally. It's so hard to do it over and over again and do it well. Like people just don't know. People don't know this. They don't realize this. They don't because they don't know anything about making a cartoon. But just imagine if you tried to do it, you know. And that's why I think people that have been doing it their whole life, you know, they make the best cartoonists because it's less painful for them to do it, I guess. But it really depends on you, that's kind of more me. But I mean, that can be the case for a lot of people though too. When you're doing something, but to do more of it is just so much more of a challenge. You don't realize it. But like if you play a video game and you keep playing that game and you keep playing it, it's pretty crazy, you know, the level that you can get on, like the amount of focus you can gain, and just like how long you're actually into this thing. And for me, I can kind of diffuse it and be like, okay, you know what, I'm not interested anymore. If I want to choose it, it sometimes it's more natural, but I can just be like, you know what, I just need to do some other stuff. And so like what I've learned through making stuff. Man, I was trying to be funny. I didn't want to talk about all this stuff. Jeez, man. I was trying to be funny and then I just got all serious and stuff. Uh this was supposed to be like a funny thing and I was supposed to be funny. And now I'm just talking about, like making cartoons. But it's okay. It's just a little podcast I'm making. But so it's almost like controlling. I guess it is funny. It's just like I was trying to do like a different kind of act and I'm just like my raw self. So it kind of goes in line with what I was trying to talk about, being a little bit too honest. I could, I always like think of stuff, and I'm like, dude, that could be like a good name for a stand-up special or something. Even though I don't even do stand-up comedy, I could probably start selling these. Like, I should start being a ghostwriter for sure. Maybe I already am. No one knows. You never know. You never know if someone's a ghostwriter. But yeah, it's like, controlling your passion, which isn't that a weird thing to think about, like controlling your passion? Like, I'm going to be passionate about this and work on this thing. And that's kind of what I seen that I had to do because it's so hard. Like, I don't know. It's like unnatural passion in a way, which is weird to think about because people usually don't think of that. Like, you don't really think like someone could control it. Like you just say, "Oh, this is my passion." But part of the thing with me is I've done so much of so much stuff that I get kind of burnt out on stuff and I get bored, so then I want to switch. So it's like, what am I passionate about right now? So I guess maybe it is natural. And that's kind of the crazy thing, isn't it? Is what is natural passion and what is unnatural? Because I think some people have like unnatural passion and stuff, so then it doesn't really fit. And and then it's kind of forced, like if you're doing something just to get paid and then it almost turns into unnatural passion. And so that's what the whole thing is about for me is like finding that natural passion to be able to do something to, make something that people can appreciate and even going beyond that and making something that's going to be like a big success and a big sensation and stuff. And part of that, like making something really big can require, other people and like most really big things out there have required like multiple people to be able to work on it and really bring it to life in a particular way. And so I can see that, but I also know that just one person can do a lot and it really just depends on what they do and what they're doing. And I'm over here like thinking, I'm like, I kind of want to make some like comedy video games, where it's like you kind of, go on a journey, a funny journey or something. They're probably ripping out. That's probably enough for them to even rip off right there. That's probably enough. That's enough for people to rip off, All you need is a couple words and they're already making the game. They're already probably ripping me off right there, my style and everything. There it is. There it is. Speaking of style, do I even have a unique style? But yeah, being a little bit too honest. Um, it's like whenever you get like some people never get honest with themselves. Like they don't want to get honest with themselves. Once you figure that out, then you can just move on from all the. But depending on what kind of person you are, I mean, I don't know. It's kind of crazy out there. It's kind of crazy because a lot of opinions, a lot of people that just seem fake and don't really care, or they're just living like pretty normal lives. They're not really achieving. They're probably not going to achieve too much in their life. Like they don't really care. Does it really have to matter though? That's another thing. I started questioning myself a lot, and it almost like kills the inspiration. I think there's a lot of ways to get inspiration, and there's a lot of ways to kill it. And fortunately, I've always been really inspired, but I just never feel like I'm reaching something that I can look at and say like, "Hey, yeah, I did something great," you know? Like, and you know, I don't know. It like there are things. It's almost an addiction. You're almost just crazy because it's like I have done things like that. I've done like some really cool stuff. I've done a lot of cool stuff. I've written a lot of books, you know, independently. I've done. I made a lot of music and stuff, and a lot of this stuff goes unheard because I don't really get too much exposure, you know, because I'm just this guy, and it's not like I'm putting in millions of dollars into marketing any of this stuff. You know, I'm not. I haven't been around for 50 years plus like everybody in the movie theaters, you know what I mean? It seems like a lot of the people in the movies are like people that have been around forever. I don't know. Just a lot of them. There are a lot of people like that in the movies. You know, and it's just like I'm not that guy. You know what I mean? I'm not this guy. I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy. You know, I don't have that much of a reputation. That's why it's almost better to at least try to get some exposure from like something else other than, you know, just independent stuff. Um yeah, the lighting is actually changing in here, so everything do I need to explain? That's my green screen. It looks like crap, doesn't it? I don't even care. Yeah, I kind of need a better green screen, but I guess it doesn't really matter. It's just the lighting distribution. I actually have the window open, the sunlight's coming in now, and it's changing the lighting. That's all. I guess it doesn't matter, but yeah, you know, I think there were times where you get too exposed to a certain ideation and you're almost too honest with yourself. You know, I think I've just been exposed to a lot of different stuff, and it is almost like I'm brainwashed. You know, I'm brainwashed into brutality or something. I don't know. There's a lot of different things I think about, and I'm probably wrong about everything, but right at everything at the same time. Um, I hate people. I'm not ashamed to admit it. I hate people, man. I hate talking to people. I hate every living. I'm just kidding. I mean, I gotta admit, there are a lot of people I can't stand. I think that just, you know, I'm just trying to talking randomly now, but I think I'm being a little bit too honest here. I think I'm being a little bit too honest. I'm too honest of a person, really, because I just don't care. Like I'm just too like I'm too centered. That's what it is. Like I'm too like just down to earth, and I don't care. You know, I don't have any reason to lie. So it's like I'm not running from anything. I'm not trying to hide, you know, my past, shovel dirt on my past. That's kind of funny to think about the things that you've been through and the person you were before because it's like even to talk about it's pretty weird, isn't it? Like if you start talking about stuff from your past and like all the stuff that happened, you're just not that person anymore. So it's just like it's dead. It's not even real. It's not even it might have been real back then, but is is it real now? Like well, things kind of like, you know, change as time move forward, you know, experience a lot of other things. And then you know there's the whole thing of the good version of you. I'm kind of just all over the place, but the good version of yourself dying. So like last year, you know, so I'm making all these videos. I'm making these Dairy Queen videos and stuff and they're going viral and I'm like, "Yeah, hell yeah," you know. And of course they're only YouTube shorts, really. But still, you know, that meant a lot to me to like be able to do that. Eating way entirely too much ice cream, which I probably have pretty good genetics to be able to eat that much ice cream and not really have too many problems. But so it just seems like everything that happened last summer and all this stuff, the person I was, it just kind of died. Like I don't know. It was like you know, it happens all the time, I think. Like I look at something I did creatively and I just think about who I was then. And, you know, I'm always thinking about the amount of focus I get. So I'm like, I did something. I had a really high amount of focus, and it was just so good that I went there and I did that. And it's hard to get yourself in the right mindset to be able to do certain things. And I have my own way of doing things just because of the things I work on and my interests and stuff. So, like I'm about to go over here and write a book. I actually have two books I just finished writing, but I got to make the covers and do some other stuff. I'm actually releasing two new books and then three more. But I'm writing one and then I have two more after that. So I'm writing five books altogether right now that I'm gonna be releasing. They're small books. Like I said, I was vegging out. But yeah, I kind of have my own techniques and stuff, and I do my own stuff. And man, it's just like I think it's hard for people to understand me, or like it's crazy whenever you realize you're almost living in a different world when the things you understand almost seem like so far from normal people, you know. And but yeah, so like who I was last year or even the years before that too, because I was doing comedy. I was doing a bunch of comedy shorts and stuff when YouTube Shorts first came out because I like doing it and I was getting exposure and I was trying to blow up and I did a little bit, probably not as much as I wanted to, but it was all right for what it's worth. And even that person is just gone, you know. But I remember that struggle. It was just so hard. And I feel like doing that kind of helped me to get to where I am now. But I don't know where I am now because I'm eating McDonald's, in these videos and just did Dairy Queen and Papa John's today. And it's like, I don't know. You can only go so far with this stuff before you got to choose what you want to do. And I just don't know how long I can eat McDonald's for. I've been doing it like all year and it's like I think I'm okay, but I just I don't know. It just, you just wonder like how far you can push this. And I need to try to do other things. And I guess there's a lot I could talk about here, just like personal stuff. I was supposed to make a comedy bit about being too honest though. That was the point of this. I was supposed to be very funny and I don't know. I think it's kind of the point of a podcast though. Be it a little bit raw, relax a little bit. Maybe you don't have to be like you're on a stage, when you're on one of these. But it is kind of like that. You do have to perform in a podcast. But yeah, so, just have so much like all of this stuff kind of, it's just a lot. It's a lot to take in, but man, I just want to like break through, I just want to break through and just make something unforgettable. That's kind of what I really want to do is make something unforgettable, make something like so good, like it's going to make me money and, everyone's happy. That's kind of what I want to do. So I'm really trying to make like high quality stuff and I got to get in there, I got to get in there and do it. I think I'm just so addicted to writing books. I don't even know. It's weird. I don't even really read books. I just like writing books and I don't know. I don't know what the hell is like what is really going on with me. It's crazy cuz I don't know. But like I said, like sometimes I go through a phase and I'm in such a good mode for doing that particular thing and I think people just don't realize how much goes into making a cartoon, but maybe it is pretty easy once you kind of just look at it from the outside like you just write the episode, you get a good layout for how it's supposed to be and then you just make the damn thing, And I've had a couple different shows that I've made that I feel like could have been better. They could have been more, I just am one person, so it's so much effort to do things like that. And So right now, I'm like, well, I want to make some new cartoons and I want them to be really good. And I just want to make something that's like so good that everyone's going to like it. Like, it's just going to be like a very big hit. Like, I want to make a hit. That's kind of what I want to do. And I've made a lot of attempts at it, but it just requires a lot. Like, if you really want to make something good, you got to like just sit there forever. Try to throw stuff together, think of ideas, you know, try to get something good because there's so many ideas out there, and that's kind of the thing too. Is like even these videos that I'm making, like there's so many good ideas out there, and then there's just ideas. Like there's so many ideas, and then there's good ideas. Ideas might work a little, like, decently. People get by on just mediocre ideas, like ideas that aren't even really that great, or things that aren't really that great. And then and then there's the people with the good ideas, and that only put out high quality good ideas. Sometimes you even have those and those aren't even that good. Like, it's a really good idea, but is anyone going to remember it? So, I think I'm just too unorganized and too insane to really to focus. That's kind of been my problem, is like I'm just trying to do too much at once and I can't decide what I want to do. So, um I don't know. But I'm gonna get some stuff done today. I've been vegging out on I've been playing Rocket League, man. It's a pretty cool game. They got like some esports going on right now. It's pretty cool stuff to watch, actually. But I've been getting a little bit too much into that. Like, I'm not gonna be a pro player, and I do want to stream video games again, but there are certain games, well, probably all games. If you really want to stream them, you gotta like play all the time. So that's why I think streaming didn't really work out for me, because I'm like, I have like a million other things that I want to do. Like, there's too many things that I want to do in my life that sitting around here being a game streamer almost doesn't work, because I'm like playing. You play all day every day for people. That's kind of what you need to do in order to like be who want people want you to be. So it's not really not for everyone. It's not for everyone. So. But you can get a lot out. But here's the thing: you can get a lot out of a decent grind. Say like a 6 month, or because I've grinded a lot. Say you do like a month grind or a 3 month grind or a 6 month grind or even a year grind. You can get a lot out of that if you just keep going. But the crazy thing about that is, if you stop doing something, you might backtrack a little bit. You're gonna, it's so that's why it's so hard. It's like to keep that going, because you probably want to get on like a five, or like, this is kind of crazy to say right here, but I think it's true. You probably want to get on like a 5 or 10 year grind straight in order for you to be good enough to professionally entertain people. But people people have all different levels of success, but I think that's kind of true for like whether you're making music, or you're making cartoons, or you're just making videos, or you're a streamer, whatever you're doing. I almost feel like that's kind of where you need to be. And it's just crazy, I feel like younger, like teenagers, are probably more passionate about playing video games. And like me, it was pretty great, to play when I was younger, because everything was new. When you start to get, whenever you're first starting to play games and stuff, and then you get addicted and you start playing a lot of different games. Depends on what kind of gamer you are. There's a lot of different gamers out there, but Um, yeah, it's just like to be like going like that good, to make money, off playing games. It's just not in me anymore. But I think like comedy is always gonna be in me, at least for a while longer. So I need to figure out how to make it work. And I think it's been going pretty well for me. I'm just talking about whatever right now. Like I think it's been going pretty well for me. Um, I have a short that got up to 24 million views, which is like a huge success for me. That's great, you know. Even if not everyone liked it. Um, never thought I'd be able to do that, but I hope that, I'm able to do more. And I'm just like over here kind of trying to do other stuff though. Because I feel like, eating McDonald's fries in little clips, I don't know how long that's gonna last. And I feel like you could only do that so much, you know. But as long as I'm only eating them twice a week, that's not that bad. If you're just eating McDonald's fries one time a week in a video, that's really not that bad. Like that's not even depending on what you're eating throughout the week though. Like I don't really eat that unhealthy throughout the week. Like it's pretty normal stuff. Like I'm about to eat some sloppy joes on Monday. That's not really that unhealthy. Well, I'm about to get like some sloppy joes and bratwurst. So I'm gonna do some bratwurst. Haven't done bratwurst. Man, I've been cooking all kinds of stuff. So much stuff you can do with beef, man. I did Italian. I did meatball subs, meatloaf, meatball subs. Pretty similar actually. But yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm just being pretty brave over here. It's pretty brave. It's pretty brave. Pretty brave for posting videos on the internet. I don't want to sit here and talk. See, I think this is a problem too. Like if you want to succeed at like talking in videos like this, I feel like you got to do it all the time. Like you got to do it all the time. It's just crazy, man. That's what happens with everything that I do. It's like, dude, that's cool that you did that, but if you want to make it better, you're going to have to like do more, you know? That's kind of what happens. Um it kind of happens with everything actually. It's like, you know, everything that I do, it's just like the lighting's changing again. That's great. Everything that I do is just like the same thing, It's like if you want to do better, you have to grind on it all the time. That's it. Do it all the time, you know? And it's just crazy. It's so demanding. It's so demanding. And I feel like I'm not doing enough like comedy acting and just doing these podcasts. I'm kind of dead today to be honest. I don't know why. Like I was saying at the beginning of this, like I kind of just like fell over earlier and I was trying to write some stuff and I was just like right now I'm trying to think of a cartoon idea. I was thinking about actually making the Ice Cream Man his own series and trying to make it like a really cool series, and putting a lot of effort into it. I don't know. Though. I don't know. People would like it if I did it right. See, that's the thing. You can make a cartoon, but you got to do it right. It's got to be done the right way. I never think, honestly, if I were to be honest, I don't think I've ever really made a successful cartoon because seems like most of like I've gotten hundreds of likes on cartoons and stuff. Like I've gotten views and likes on cartoons, but never really like blew up like super viral with a cartoon. But then again, I guess I have if you think about it. Like Ice Cream Man is a channel, right? It's a character I made, and it's the channel. But I didn't like make cartoon, so I didn't get subscribers or anything with cartoon clips. But I did get subscribers on a channel which is a cartoon theme. So maybe that does count. Maybe it does count. I mean, it's kind of a vibe, you know. It's kind of its own thing, really, if you think about it. Like I didn't really mean to do it, but it just kind of happened. It's like it's a cartoon theme, but it's just a guy eating food. Like I don't know, it just works somehow. It's just its own little thing. So I think it's pretty powerful to do that. You know, have a like the ice cream man has nothing to do with the actual videos. Nah, I guess I'm the ice cream man. I mean, this is the cartoon version of me right here. um, wow, this is pretty long. That's okay. That's okay. I don't mind doing a tired podcast, even if no one's gonna finish the damn thing. I've been trying to be interesting enough for people to finish it, but you know, that's what I'm doing tonight. I'm trying to think of a cartoon right now, actually. That's what I'm doing. I'm trying to think of a cartoon. Ah, it's so hard. I have a long list of ideas. I don't have a lack of ideas, but it's just like I'm trying to get the idea, you know, like trying to have a specific idea that's really gonna work. So I haven't made cartoons in a few months, but that's what I'm doing right now. I'm trying to get in the mode, I guess. I'm trying to get in the mode. I can't just. I'm just booting up that computer, but maybe I would only really succeed like on a very high level if I was making cartoons for 20 years straight. I don't know. It almost feels like that. You know, just doing it every day. You know, if you do it every day and you put in the work and you do the right stuff, because you got to do the right stuff. I feel like I do the right stuff, but it's just like I don't know. You got to hit it. You got to hit it. You got to be like. I think I'm gonna get up out of here though. I was pretty tired today, and I think I ate myself into a pizza coma. And yeah, I think I ate a little bit too much pizza to be honest. It was pretty good though, but geez, I guess you don't realize how much of an effect over eating too much food really has on you. I don't know because it seems like I just died. Like, I was just like I don't eat like that every day, by the way. So actually might as well talk about this too. So I was working out 20 minutes. Well, I've been doing 20 minutes a day on the treadmill, which is a pretty good little workout like to do every day. Um, you know, and I've been doing it every day, and my calves getting a little bit like the muscle. They need to take a break. So I've actually been taking a break yesterday, today, and I'm probably gonna take a break tomorrow because I woke up Friday so tired, and I'm just like, man, okay, you know what? You need to take a break, okay? But I still walk around and stuff a little bit, get out. I probably need to get outside. I was thinking about going camping actually. I was thinking about doing some camping videos too. And that's kind of the funny thing. I'm actually over here thinking about what I want to do cuz maybe there's something new I can do, as far as videos go. And I was also thinking about just saying screw everything, doing cuz usually I make cartoons and I make music, I do stuff like that. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe you should just make a video game, you know? Like I'm writing some books right now. I'm pretty addicted to writing books. I'm really addicted to writing satire books right now. I'm so addicted. And I write little small books because I like to compact everything into so I pick a subject and a theme and a genre kind of thing, and then I take it and I blend it with satire and I just make a small little book, and then I do it again and again and again, so you just kind of compact all the subject, the jokes, and you kind of to really have a different flavor of joke, you have to have a different theme. And so, you'd have to have a different subject, you have to have different factors in it. So the only way to do that is to just get a different genre. That's the only real way to have like a different experience. I mean, you can do the same, like people do get away with doing the same thing over and over. Like there's a lot of I guess I don't all American homely shows. There's a lot of shows like that. Like they basically like have like all American comedy, almost like wholesome family sitcoms and stuff like that, and like, so you know, that's cool that people do that. I almost think that type of stuff is kind of dying off or something. I don't even know what's going on. But yeah, so I'm like addicted to doing that, and then you know, I can do 3D artists. I can design like video game characters and stuff. It just takes a while. It just takes a lot of time to do that stuff. But um, so yeah, that's what I'm like looking at right now. And to make a single player game is a lot easier than to make a game with servers and PvP experiences. So for me, um, actually, it might not. I don't know how hard it is, dude. I don't know. I had to learn stuff, and so for me, I'm looking at doing that. And I was also thinking about doing some comic books too, because you don't really know until you try something if you're gonna be successful at it or not. And so for me, I was doing like the food videos, and those were pretty successful, and I was able to get somewhere with those. So I'm pretty happy with that. But I honestly, if I was able to succeed at something else, like say I made a video game and it was a success and I earned a bunch of money from it and got critical acclaim from it and all of that, or like if my book started to pick up some traction, because whenever you write a book, there's so many people writing books. It's just like the whole posting a video thing. Whenever you post a video, there's so many people posting videos, there's so many people writing books, and there's also so many people making video games too, but you know, there's less people writing books than there are people posting videos. There's less people making video games than there are people writing books or just posting videos. But I don't really know how true that is. But you know what I mean? Like certain things take a different amount of time, but like if I were to make a video, I could put in a lot of time into making a video. Like some people, they won't even upload the video. They won't even upload something unless they feel like it's something that is going to go viral. So th- that's almost a good mentality to have. Like little talk videos like this, I feel like they only go so far. Even if you were like a really successful podcaster, I feel like they only have so much reach. It's only going to entertain so much many people. But I guess the core of podcasting has just been like interesting things. That's why it's so valuable, to interview people. And when you're someone like me and you don't have a lot of resources and stuff, it's like, well, you gotta start somewhere. Like I could go find some people to interview and maybe make an interesting experience, but I don't know how good it's gonna be still. So, and and then I question it too. I'm like, how far are you gonna really take this stuff? How far are you going to really take like podcasting and just these videos? And I don't even know if I'm really podcasting because I just was like doing comedy videos. Like I'll just hop on camera and try to be funny. And then, they just released this podcast. So I was like, well, might as well make it a podcast because I'm just talking on camera anyway. It's pretty much the same thing. Might as well just, I don't even know what a podcast is, honestly. I don't even know. What is it? Um, so yeah, I'm over here just like I was gonna make some cartoons, but then I'm like, you know what? Just make a game. You really just want to make a game, don't you? Don't you? Like if I made an ice cream man game or something, maybe it would, if I did it well, maybe people would like it. Maybe it would be different for me, And that's the crazy thing is because I've made a lot of animations, but I just feel like I wasn't able to really do what I really wanted to or needed to do on them. And you question everything, it's like collaborate if I collaborate with people on animations, you get a different result. And I guess I don't know if I don't really need to talk about it here, but it's okay. I'm just talking about stuff. Maybe people will learn something if they watch this, but maybe it's completely useless and no one's interested in what I have to say, which is fine too. And then I think about that too, and I'm like, well, if it's not very popular, then why keep posting it? It's like, well, maybe it's going somewhere. And but maybe it's time for something different, and that's kind of where I'm at right now is I'm like, well, do you really want to do the same stuff you've been doing for years and years? And, you know, for me, that's the struggle that's my struggle right there. Is I do something for a while and then I fall off with it because I just lose interest in it. Or I just don't want to do it anymore, or it just doesn't seem like it's working out. It just seems like it's going to take too many years for me to be able to do it well enough to where it's like I'm going to be like a hit sensation or something. Like it if I was even able to get there. That's kind of what I'm saying. So, even making video games, it's like, well, you know, I think that's the reason why it doesn't really matter how much you work on something. You just have to work on it until it's good enough that people are gonna like it. But even having that mentality doesn't work. You know, if it's not there, it's just not there. Like I made stuff before that I felt like I really liked, and people were gonna like it, and no one really liked it. And then I don't know. It just I've been through so much just with all my experience and stuff. So I I guess the main thing that I kind of learned is you need to go for it, and you need to be able to make something. You need to try for the best result every time, and having a good attitude is the best thing you can do. I don't even know I don't even know how I got started talking about this stuff, but it's okay. Like I wasn't really trying to make a podcast or talk about this stuff in depth too much, but it's okay. I think it is important for people to get exposed to this kind of stuff though, because for me to lay down everything I just laid down, that's almost like it's pretty educational, and I think it can be interesting to people too. You know, that could be like a full course on Seth's brain. This is the Seth's brain master class. Okay, I'm out of here.